Well, are we ready for some announcements, sir?
Yeah.
Let's dive in. First one this week is one amazing cover. Super into this. Coming early in 2024 on Blu-ray from Oscilloscope is Moon Garden. This is a 2022 film. And just the first sentence of this very much intrigued me. It says, shot on expired 35 millimeter film stock with vintage rehoused lenses. Moon Garden is a fantastical odyssey and a visionary handcrafted and fully practical work of art that shows how a child can shine light even in the darkest places.
They did a good job selling it because between artwork and the description, that does intrigue me. I don't love Oscilloscope's packaging, but that does sound really good.
I'll even go a step further. I mostly hate Oscilloscope's packaging. But that being said, I've been a very happy subscriber of Oscilloscope for 3 or 4 times in a row. Yeah, they do great stuff. I'm generally happy with their catalog.
Oh, they do really good stuff. I'm a big cat person, and their documentary Ketty is so adorable. I loved it.
That was a big one. Next up, Kino Lorber, coming soon on Blu-ray, Man-Eater of Kumaun, something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last word. 1948, this came out. This is a big one for a lot of people. More of Seibu on Blu-ray. That's the big draw.
Yeah, so I've not seen this, but I'm all over classic stuff, and Kino Lorber is one of the main ones really pumping it out, man. They pump out so much old black and white stuff. It is awesome because they're saving these movies that really no one is caring about nowadays, which is I love it. So this is something I would it'll probably end up in the collection at some point.
Well, and who else is putting out black and white movies as often as them? Nobody. That's the big thing.
Not at the rate they do too. Like they'll put out like 5 in 1 week.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is impossible to stay up to date with Kino, that's for sure.
One of my favorite newer-ish ones, though, that's been doing a lot of that stuff. I love Film Detective also. Film Detective does cool stuff. So I've been digging them, and I enjoy classic flicks. But neither one has the output of Kino. Even close to the output of Kino.
Right. Well, and Film Detective is no more already. You know that, right?
No, I didn't.
So Film Detective is now Film Masters.
I saw the name Film Masters. I just thought that was kind of like a sub label, but it
is Film Detective with a new shiny coat of paint. So the owner of Film Detective sold it to somebody else, thinking because he was basically under the impression that they were going to be able to work together to do something magnificent. And they said, nope, we're going to screw your company that you built from the ground up over, and not going to be anything like you envisioned. So he said, fine, I'm going to take a little bit of the money that you gave me, and we're going to go start our own thing. And it's even the same type of branding. And,
it looks the same. I thought it was with the same company, essentially.
It literally is. They're doing all of the same type of things, and yeah, they're putting out some great stuff, and they were the ones to announce the first release that I'm on, so I'm stoked to support them.
That's awesome, because actually I had this I had this on my desk because I recommended this in a different stream, but like this was a cool box set. Like no one was saving these super early Sherlock Holmes films. Like this is awesome.
I'm gonna sound like a dick now after talking them up so much. I think that's the only release from them that I didn't love. I like the movies, but
the box is chintzy, but
the box is awful, but also the restorations are really not great on there. And I think it's because there were so many films. They couldn't afford great restorations for, I think it's 4 films in there.
Yeah, 4 films. Yep.
So to do all of that for the price that they did, that would have been a lot of money on restorations. And they probably needed a little more restoration work.
Yeah. I only watched 1 of the 4, but I enjoyed it.
They're good movies.
Are they even? That might be even public domain too. I'm not even sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. They do a lot of public domain stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Next up, Pet Sematary Bloodlines from this year is getting a 4K and Blu-ray release from Paramount. This is coming on December 19th, and I've not seen this. I know a lot of people were upset when that remake came out. I actually kinda liked the remake.
I,
Did you get a chance to check this out?
so no, so I didn't see this one yet. I just watched the original right around the time the remake came out. I never saw the original before, so I watched basically the original and the remake almost back to back.
Wow.
I thought they were both fine. That was about to sum it up. I thought they were both fine.
Yeah.
So I'll probably check this one out at some point, but I'm not like hyped for it or anything.
I am into John Lithgow. So him being in that second one, or the remake, not the second one, was a fairly big draw for me. I think he did pretty great in that role. And then this one, I mean, Henry Thomas is fantastic in pretty much everything nowadays.
Yeah, he is.
Obviously delivers great stuff for Flanagan, but then Pam Grier's in this, David Duchovny. It's a pretty nice cast.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably check it out at some point. And it's a streaming thing coming to disc. That's always good.
That's a big reason to support it too. Show them that we'll buy it.
Yeah.
Next, one that is a little infuriating, but also really exciting. December 4th, the BBC is releasing Black Adder, the complete collection, with the little asterisk there because they're not advertising that, even though they're calling this the complete collection, it's only the complete collection of what they have the rights to, meaning Back and Forth is not included in this, which is an interesting time travel-y type episode. And then the original pilot episode. This is an odd show because there was 2 pilots. And so complete collection, it's not really, but it's Blu-ray releases of an incredible series, and I would love to have this.
Is the one pilot basically the unaired pilot?
I think it literally played once, if I remember reading about it correctly. But yeah, it's kind of rare, and it's not something that the BBC themselves have had the rights to. So
yeah, okay,
they couldn't put it out there.
It's an awesome looking set though.
Yeah, for an incredible show, and there's a lot of stuff on here. Yeah, this is a big deal. And I see the comment that I said out loud when I saw this announcement. Jesus Christ, Blackadder is 40 years old, and it really is. Yeah, this is wild. I would love to get this. You can actually pre-order this on amazon.co.uk already, and it needs to go on my wish list.
I wish this is probably more of a bank problem for me, but anytime I order anything from Amazon UK, I always have problems where my bank just refuses to let the charge go through. It's like their fraud detection. So I never get to pre-order anything from Amazon UK because no matter how many times I tell the bank, accept it, it's good, it doesn't, and then Amazon cancels the order. I've given up.
See, and that's when I try to do the any of the international Amazons or directly even from some of these other boutiques. Not everybody has access to that, and I know that's privilege speaking here, but Capital One credit cards, best thing to do in my opinion for those, because not only do they have good fraud detection and it never gets there's no alarm bells going off for any of these, but on top of that, Capital One doesn't charge foreign transaction fees.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
The only thing that you got to worry about is the what am I trying to think of? The currency conversion. But other than that, you're good. You don't ever have to pay that extra 2% or whatever it is.
Yes, I generally PayPal's on most websites, and I try to do my foreign stuff with PayPal because that gives me no issues.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Next one, March 26th. VCI is releasing Dark Knight of the Scarecrows 1 and 2 on 4K. They're also releasing the 2-pack on Blu-ray. Man, this... First off, do you have much experience with VCI, or have you seen Dark Knight of the Scarecrow?
No. Sell me on it.
No. Well, the first movie is actually brilliant. It's a wonderful, great Scarecrow movie. Like one of the best, maybe the best Scarecrow movie of all time. But the hard part, VCI is absolute garbage. Most of their releases are burned Blu-rays with cover art that looks like it was printed. I'm going to sound like I'm repeating myself for those in the Discord because I just said this earlier today. It looks like cover art that was printed from like a 2004 laser printer and then haphazardly kind of sideways. And it's on top of that, just poor restorations. None of it works. It's just usually bad. And trusting VCI with the 4K does not sound like a great time for me. But also the hard part is I don't know, they're probably going to do them standalone eventually. The second Dark Knight of the Scarecrows, I've not seen, but the trailer for it alone was god awful. It was so bad. There was somebody wearing a VCI hat to advertise the company in the trailer.
Wow. Yeah, no, I have no experience with these. So a lot of older horror, I'm working my way through some stuff with them, but I didn't grow up with horror. I didn't really actually start watching horror until like somewhere in my teens.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that people talk about with horror. Like, I don't know. I didn't watch it. I grew up with classic movies going in the house.
Yeah, I didn't get much classics, and the funny thing is I only got mainstream horror. So a lot of this I'm actually very much still discovering myself. So it's always fun. But yeah, the first one of these is a really good movie, not from VCI though.
And this is slightly off topic, but since you mentioned about the cover art, this just popped into my mind. Do you have the Domestic Disturbance release from Paramount? I think it's Paramount, right?
Domestic Disturbance.
Yeah,
I think I might.
Because that is one of the worst cover arts I've ever seen, because it's all pixelated and looks like they took a 20 DPI picture and printed it out. I just, that popped into my mind because it's absolutely terrible. And I wonder.
I have not seen it.
The D's are next to me, but there's no way I'm going to find it. There's so many. But yeah, it is awful. It's really bad cover art. Like, you see the actual pixels in it. I was flabbergasted that they shipped that.
Wow, that's pretty embarrassing. We got a question. How is the Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things 4K? That was the first VCI 4K. And I'm not going to pick it up because I have an older release that's not VCI. And this one, the reviews that I've been reading on that is essentially VCI Blu-rays finally look like DVD quality. And now the 4Ks finally look like Blu-rays. So if you want it in high definition, you can finally pick up the 4K to get it on what you should have had 10 years ago.
There we go. That's resounding news there. Tease. I've heard great things on that movie though.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure. Next up, kind of an experimental turn for Reconnected at the moment. Black Zero. They are a company that is like Golden Age of Video out of Canada. They work on creating their entire product themselves, especially the special features. They work with a lot of filmmakers to get these out, and they got their second wave of titles out here finally. This first one is A Man Whose Life Was Full of Woe Has Been Surprised by Joy. This is from 1997. And this is about transformations of imagery through collage and montage, about history as transformation, about eros as a transformative power, and most of all, about the transformations of the self. It rejects modernity's inhumane technological order and seeks to reconnect the body and the self. This is all done by R. Bruce Elder, and it's newly restored, and it's newly restored from the film's elements themselves. Commentary by R. Bruce Elder and Stephen Brumer, who owns Black Zero. And then we got a new interview with R. Bruce Elder on this, and a new video essay done by Stephen Brumer as well. I don't know anything about these, and most people don't either.
It sounds intriguing enough, but the cover art, though, is bad. I do not like that at all. That doesn't sell me on anything, but it sounds intriguing.
Yeah. Most people that have bought these, they know going into it that it's experimental, and they're usually into it. I don't love a lot of the cover art. I think there's one or two from this batch that I tend to enjoy. The next one, Green Dreams. See, this one's not bad.
No, that's fine. That's pretty standard. That's not bad.
This one is going to have a bunch of stuff on here. So this is the comprehensive collection covering the origins as a student filmmaker of Josephine Massarella, who was at the University of British Columbia in the early 1980s. And this is going to include One Woman Waiting, Number 5 Reversal, Interference, Green Dream, Night Stream, Light Study, No End, and 165708.
That's a title.
I guess so. These are individual commentaries on each film by an international selection of film critics, artists, filmmakers, and poets. There are 4 early films by Massarella as well, and then some archival interviews and liner notes. Lots of stuff going into these. There are not a lot of information about a lot of these releases. People have not been super into it if they're not into experimental films. So just take that with a grain of salt and realize too, it's from Canada. So when you go into it, you're going to end up paying probably another $20 in shipping, depending on what you buy. And you're not going to be able to find their releases anywhere else. So if these are super intriguing to you, check out Black Zero. Everybody that has supported them, that knew what they were getting, were very happy. That's about all I can say.
So something I love though about physical media, even if this isn't my jam at all, it's fantastic that something like this is even put on disc and released. Like,
yep,
that's awesome. I don't care if something's the worst movie in the world. I want it on disc. Like, that's awesome. So that's very cool.
This is basically a Criterion level box set for somebody that none of us know about.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Like, that's hard to argue with.
Yeah.
Next up from them is, see, I like this cover too. Field Trips by Richard Kerr. This is from 1988 to 2021. Canadian artist filmmaker Richard Kerr was raised in a north-south family near the American border. From a young age, he was preoccupied with the vision of empire reflected in American mass culture and sport. As he matured as a filmmaker, Kerr began to turn his attention increasingly to America as a subject, undertaking road trips through the American Southwest, studying the spirit of a landscape made for cinema. And so he's going to have on here The Last Days of Contrition, Cruel Rhythm, and Field Trip. And these are all restored 4K digital masters approved by Kerr himself. There's also a bonus film from 2004, new interview with the filmmaker, a video essay, documenting portrait of Kerr in his home studio, and some liner notes. Like, again, lots of stuff on this.
Yeah. That sounds pretty cool, though. I mean, again, might not be my thing, but that's awesome it exists.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly. And I think, yeah, that's it.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
we'll talk about Tim's big thing in a second. That was a weird sentence. 3 release wave from Black Zero. This is the second time that they've done this. If you're going to get them, the first 3 still haven't sold out yet. So if you get a few that you're like, man, these sound great, buy a couple at once. Save yourself on the shipping. Something to make it worth your while, to see if you're really into them before you go all in and be unhappy, or just buy one. And because of Canadian shipping, and they're a little pricey, it's like $30 a release, I think. You're going a lot if you're only going in for one release. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, Tim's favorite. Film noir, The Dark Side of Cinema 18.
That's 18. I can't believe we're up to that. That is, I have a lot of them to still get. I have a chunk of them. What do I have? Like 7 of them? So only 11 more to go. But these sets are awesome, man. Everything I've seen from them have been, at worst, entertaining, and they're cheap. They're crazy cheap for what they are. I can't recommend any of these sets enough.
And the big thing with these sets is they're not coming with a booklet. It's not a limited slipcover, so you can just wait for one of the Kino sales and pick this up for $25.
Yeah,
$8 a movie. What are you going to argue with? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
This one we got City of Shadows, we got Fingerman, we got Crash Out. Have you seen any of these 3?
None of them, and that's what I love. I haven't seen most of everything that's been in these film noir sets, but like I said, at worst, they've been entertaining enough.
I mean, what's to argue with on that?
Yeah,
entertaining enough.
Yeah, as long as I even if it's not all that memorable, if it entertained me for the hour and a half, I'm good. These are cool. I'm happy these exist. A lot of these things, if Kino didn't pick these up and release them, they would just be languishing on DVD or VHS even. Some of the stuff never even came to DVD.
That or Indicator would release them in like an 8-film box set, and it would be twice as much.
I do love Indicator, though, man.
Me too.
I do love Indicator.
Next up, hey, this is an exciting thing. Shelf Shock Rewind 2023 is happening. It is coming up soon, and we are scheduling this for, once again, the Sunday after Super Bowl Sunday. So I believe that is February 18th is when this is going to be happening next year. And it is time. I've been reaching out to a bunch of people to be on the creator selection committee, including Tim here.
Yes.
And man, we are. I thought last year was exciting and big. This year is about to freaking explode. The number of people that have already responded and said they're in already dwarfs last year's like crazy.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
I cannot wait. We have a lot of neat ideas, and I don't think it's been said super publicly yet. So I will say now, co-host for Shelf Shock Rewind 2023 is going to be none other than Celeste De La Cabra, and I could not be more excited.
I love Celeste. That's
Celeste
awesome.
is amazing.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of great ideas. There are a bunch of people that are on the CSC in the chat. You guys are fantastic. One of the things, though, that I didn't say, if you're a creator, if you've got a podcast, a YouTube channel, if you submit items on discs, either I've already reached out to you and you've already said yes, or I've reached out to you and the email went to your junk mail, or if I didn't reach out to you and you want to be a part of it, send me an email and I will get you on the list. I will send you our poll. We'll make sure that you're in there and, being able to put your opinion out there. It's going to be a massive year.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
Well, maybe that's a good time since we're already like halfway through the discussion on announcements. How do you feel about this year compared to last year in terms of all physical media? Because I know a lot of us last year, we were looking at it like it was massive. Like it was, this is the year that's going to dwarf everything. I almost feel like we've gotten more releases this year.
This year has been killer. It's been better though, even for steelbooks, because I'm a big steelbook guy. This has been an insane year for steelbooks. My goodness.
Yeah, it's been pretty great.
Yeah, between even import ones that have come out and then even the US ones, like Lionsgate just keeps releasing, fire steelbook after fire steelbook, and oh my goodness,
for only $22.
Yeah, but even I'm loving Paramount is putting their steelbooks out just everywhere, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'm loving the steelbook game right now.
Next is Barnes & Noble Criterion sale is on now, and you can go to any of the in-store locations or buy online. That is up until December 4th, and as usual, it's 50% off the MSRP. So for Blu-rays, you're looking at $20, 4Ks $25, box sets ranging from $35 all the way up to $250-ish. Yeah. And some great releases, great prices. Can't wait to put in something because I still have not put in any order.
So I'm going to see what I get. The one thing I try to stress this to people too, we get 2 sales a year from Barnes & Noble themselves, plus we get the flash sales from Criterion themselves, all at 50% off. And Criterion is like 95% what's in print now will be in print next year. They only take stuff out of print if they lose the rights or something like that.
Yep.
So don't go crazy buying hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth. Whatever you don't get in this sale, you can get on the next one or the one after that. It's I never the FOMO isn't there with Criterion sales. It's get what I want to watch now, and I'll get more next time.
Yeah, there's not a ton that I'm clamoring for right now. The cool thing about the Barnes & Noble one each year is that you can do the they do the 50% off of pre-orders for what's coming out during this month too. Yeah. And there's 1 or 2 that I really want from this one. So
Mean Streets is, but I really want that Second Sight set.
I'm definitely doing Second Sight.
It's hard. Like I love Criterion, but that's a Second Sight box set, man. That's hard to turn down.
I could not possibly argue with that. You are absolutely right. All right, what do we got next? We've got MVD Rewind. So this surprised the hell out of me. February 20th on Blu-ray, they are releasing Hardware Wars from 1978. This is a Star Wars parody that I still have in a VHS box. about 10 feet away from me, and I'm astonished that this is getting a Blu-ray release. This is wild. For those that have never heard of this or checked it out, this is, first of all, very short. This is like it's like less than 20 minutes even, I think. That's the
Really?
big thing. Yes. Let me make sure I'm getting that. It might be 40 minutes on the long end, but if I remember right, it's very, very short. So yeah, it's 13 minutes long.
Oh
And
my
so
god.
I know hearing that, you're like, how are they putting that out on a Blu-ray? You got to look at everything that's on this disc. So on top of that, there is an audio commentary with the writer-director, a video commentary with the writer-director. There's a director's cut, which is only 10 minutes. There's a prequel featurette, which is another 5 minutes. There's a foreign version, which is 11 minutes. Then on top of that, they go through Hardware War Saves Christmas featurette, a trailer, an awards reel, but then they start adding other parodies that they've done. So they have Porklips Now, which is a 22-minute 1980 parody of Apocalypse Now. There's Plan 9.1 from Outer Space, which is 20 minutes, and it's a parody of Plan 9 from Outer Space, done with puppets. There's just so much on this disc that's great, and they actually made it worthwhile. This is fantastic.
You know, this is making me think of I've never seen this or even actually heard of it, but it sounds like something I should totally watch. But I wonder if we could get weird stuff like this. Do you remember in the early 2000s those thumb parodies like Thumbtanic and
Oh wow.
Imagine a box set of those.
A thumb box set. Jeez. That was, I swear you just unlocked a memory bank somewhere. I've not thought of that in so long.
I wonder how many people in the comments remember have seen those before.
Wow. Wave says, I messaged Second Sight about the Mean Streets 4K this week to ask about their encoding, and they said it's going to be by Fidelity in Motion. So all the more reason to grab Second Sight over Criterion. I would agree there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the version I'm going with anyway. Second Sight is just incredible.
Dude says, amazing announcement. Has it ever had an official release? I only remember ever seeing it on a friend's crappy VHS in the 90s, and I think that was a bootleg. It did have an official VHS, but I think that was the only thing on the VHS. It was 14 minutes, and that's it.
Jeez.
This is hilarious. But the one that people are probably most excited about, they are releasing joysticks from 1983 as well. This is coming out again on Blu-ray. Now, here's the hard thing about this release for me to get excited about it. It's got a fan commentary that they're putting on here with Eric Wilkinson from MVD Rewind, Heath from Serial at Midnight, and then Diabolic and Cauldron's Jesse Nelson. But other than that, this is the same exact disc as the Scorpion Blu-ray from 2015. Same scan, no new restoration work. That's kind of rough to hear.
All right, so I thought this sounded familiar. I think this is one that recently went into stock on Diabolic. I think it was like they must have found old copies sitting around. They were going for like $50 or something like that. Because I remember Bob was talking about he grabbed either this or another one. They had several kind of more obscure out of print titles in stock.
Yeah, I believe it was this one. I'm not sure if it was Diabolic or Grindhouse.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
But yeah, this is the only thing great about this is they put a really nice slipcover on it, and after our conversation, that feels really funny to say. But by the time this comes out, the restoration will be 9 years old.
Yeah. I've never seen it before, though, so I have no frame of reference at all. But I'm really digging that Atari artwork, though, for that last one. That's cool.
It's great art. Like I said, they're helping you buy it with some great art. And the crappy thing, though, is now that this is being released, that means no one else has the rights to this. This will probably be the only thing that we get for at least the next 5 years. And like, again, I'm not complaining. I'm glad that people will have the opportunity to buy this because the old one has been out of print for a very long time. But I feel like we could have restored it. It didn't look incredible then. It's going to look 10 times worse with 2024 eyes on it. Like that's rough.
Yeah. At least gives people another chance at it, though, at a cheaper price.
Yep.
There's that.
Can't complain too much. This one, brand new from 2023. We are getting a 4K and Blu-ray release of The Creator on December 12th. Once again, kind of a big deal because it's Disney. This is 20th Century Fox putting this out, and this actually has some special features. It has a 55-minute making of going on this. Hard to argue with that because we could have got nothing. Something definitely to be grateful for.
And it bombed pretty bad. So to get a 4K is cool because the not getting a 4K on Haunting in Venice, when that bombed, really annoys me. So I'm glad this is getting a 4K.
Not only did it bomb, but lots of people are saying that this is going to be like the newest cult classic immediate because it's that great of a film. I'm very eager to see this. I've heard it's incredible. Yeah, the Haunting of Venice thing still rubs me the wrong way too.
It does, because especially the two movies before it were great 4Ks. Death on the Nile was an incredible 4K. Yeah. But as for this, Gareth Edwards makes not a lot of money go a long way. He kind of puts some of the other directors to shame, where like they would probably take $200 million to create what I think this was like a $40 million movie or something. Like it wasn't really that much. Jeez. And it looks like a $200 million movie. It's kind of wild.
Next up, Bikini Beach from 1964 is getting a pressed mod Blu-ray from MGM on November 21st. This, to me, feels like a Tim movie.
It does. I've never seen it, but that cover just, yeah. That totally looks like something I'd buy. Totally.
It says, there are big waves crashing at Bikini Beach. The beach is close to becoming a retirement village, and a British pop star comes between Dee Dee and Frankie. Will it all be resolved by the end of summer vacation?
That totally sounds me. Yeah.
Well, and they're releasing another one, but we have to talk about that in a minute because they waited a couple days to announce it. This week, I put up an interview with Jason Benet of Culture Shock Releasing. Check that out if you haven't. Then, Dark Force, which we don't talk about a whole lot on this channel. They are putting out a 4K on Black Friday of Mirror Mirror from 1990 with Karen Black. This is one of those films that they've released multiple times, and now it's coming on 4K. Do you dabble in Dark Force at all?
No, I don't think I have any of them.
I would easily say you're smart for that. Not a bad choice. Next up, Severin has started to announce their Black Friday titles as well. First one, they are putting out The Church from 1989 on 4K. This is a Michele Soavi title, and it's not the only Soavi title that we are getting, so we will check out the next in just a moment. November 27th, Titans of Cult is releasing their next title, a 4K steelbook of Gladiator. I've had a lot of people ask, is this going to be a better disc than previous release? No, Titans of Cult only puts out special packaging. They don't do anything special for the discs. But what they do is make this a really nice release. So they are getting this out there with a sculpted pin of Maximus's helmet. There's going to be a collection of production photography from the set. There's a rigid Titan box around a steelbook case. And then it even has this little stand to be able to hold it up and display the steelbook. Titans of Cult, how many of those do you got?
Only like 3, but I dig their stuff. They're cool. Yeah. My only complaint with them is the plastic is kind of brittle when you're opening them up at the top. Like I have one that cracked, but otherwise they're nice releases.
They are, and they usually get like the pin on this is actually really cool. The little fancy object that they got, like they did I think they did one of the new Star Trek movies, and it came with like a little notepad or something like that. It was neat. It's a neat release. Yeah,
and they're priced well enough considering their steel books are mostly always great.
Yeah. Sibner says, I think they've done away with that plastic casing.
Oh, did they? Okay.
That was my least favorite part of their releases. So
yeah, because it might be my thing one that's kind of cracked at the top.
Yeah. I feel like on that one, a lot of people's came damaged.
Yeah. But a nice steelbook, though.
It's true. January 9th, Kino Lorber is releasing The Outside Man from 1972 on Blu-ray. This is going to have a new audio commentary by Howard S. Berger, friend of the channel, Steve Mitchell, and Nathaniel Thompson. This will also include the uncut version of The Outside Man in English and in French. They also got some trailers on here, reversible art, and the slipcover. Yeah, I mean,
I'm totally down for that, though. I saw when that one got announced. Roy Scheider is a really good actor. Everyone always thinks just Jaws, but the guy did good stuff outside of Jaws.
Yeah. Plus Anne Margaret, Jean-Louis Trintignant.
Yeah.
This is a big one. Next up, one that a lot of people were surprised by. They are seeing a release on January 23rd from Carlotta Films. This is coming in the US via Kino Lorber, but also Carlotta is releasing this in France themselves. They are putting out Jean Moreau Filmmaker, which is going to include Lumiere, The Adolescent, and Lillian Gish. These are from 76, 79, and 83. There are HD restorations of Lillian Gish and 4K restorations of the other two films with some archival interviews. And yeah, glad these are getting released. These sound pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I actually never saw. I like Lillian Gish, so I didn't even know there was a documentary, to be honest.
Nice. All right. What is our next one? Coming at the end of December on Blu-ray in Canada from Raven Banner, Shin Ultraman from just last year, 2022. Crazy looking slipcover on this. And then the blue on the inside is the same cover art that we've been seeing elsewhere. This is going to have a exclusive O-card, all new English subs, new video master on a BD50 disc, plus an exclusive commentary by Alex Rushdie. And then Kevin Derendorf is going to be with him as well. There's a video introduction by Alex Rushdie as well. Did you ever watch Shin Ultraman?
No, I've never watched any Ultraman, to be honest. It doesn't look me, so I've never seen any.
Are you into kaiju stuff at all? Godzilla or any of those?
I am. I like Godzilla, but for some reason, I don't know. I've watched trailers on Ultraman stuff, and it just, I don't know. Which weird. I like Power Rangers and I like Godzilla, but I just never had an interest in Ultraman.
Interesting. I mean, if people are into it, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it either. I got to be honest. Some of it is good, but yeah, it's not. I've never been huge into kaiju. I don't know. It's tough. No, Craig, they did not credit the artist, unfortunately.
I hate when artists aren't credited. It's one of my like pet peeves because as I mentioned, I collect a lot of posters, but I'm really into like screen print posters a lot, which have more modern artists, and many of them do artwork that we see on steelbooks now. People like Matt Ryan Tobin and Sarah Deck, which Tula Lotte, we just saw hers for Barbarella, for Arrow. But some of these places don't credit the artist, and that bugs the hell out of me because their art is what's helping to sell your item. Like, I know you paid them, but come on, credit them.
I am always glad to see two of arguably probably the biggest boutiques out there, Criterion and Vinegar Syndrome. They literally always credit the artist for the slipcovers. It's so nice to see that.
Yeah.
Next up, Nico from Cult Epics has launched a GoFundMe to raise funds for a documentary on Roz Williams from Christian Death. There's a new documentary film that Nico is going to be helping with, and he's looking for some editing and post-production funds. And again, it's a GoFundMe, not a Kickstarter, so you're not going to be getting anything back for it. But if you want to fund something because you're into it, check it out. Just wanted to help spread the word. Man, as we're talking about how good 2023 is, we just got another announcement about a new label called Celluloid Dreams. And the big thing, They are putting out a 4K of the Giallo, The Case of the Deadly Iris from 1972. This is pretty damn cool. From their website, it says, over the past few months, we have been hand-picking underserved movies we cherish so we can allow more viewers to experience these films in the best possible quality. We will give these films the respect, love, and care they deserve with brand new transfers and restorations to ensure they do not only match today's home video standards, but to help preserve them for future viewers and help rescue them from potential deterioration and obscurity. They are going through final restoration steps for our initial release, a Blu-ray 4K combo of a beloved film that seems to be the case of The Bloody Iris. Packed with bonus materials, old and new. Keep your eyes open for more info as we will soon reveal and officially announce full details and specs for that release, which is scheduled for the first quarter of 2024. All of their stuff, they're saying it's going to be region code for region A when it's a Blu-ray, unless otherwise noted. There's going to be free shipping from their store if you are ordering domestically in the US over $50. And because of licensing arrangements, they can only ship directly to the US and Canada, which is frustrating. This is a US-based label, and I really hope people check them out when they get announced.
Yeah. I've never heard of the movie before, but you said it's a Giallo?
It is a Giallo, and it's pretty damn good. It's one that people might have on one of the old Shameless Blu-rays, the yellow case Blu-rays. Not high quality. I think they put that out. It's one that it deserves to be replaced.
I need to dive more into Giallos. I've only seen a couple, and I've been kind of mixed. I've liked some, haven't liked others. Someone recommended New York Ripper to me, and I hated New York Ripper so much, man.
It's not a Giallo. That's why.
Oh, that's not?
No, not really.
See, that's I don't know much about that genre at all. And
it's got some of the tropes, but I wouldn't put it firmly in that genre.
I hated that movie.
Those are fighting words in this part. Barry is happy with Canadian shipping. That's good. All right. Next up, Radiance. Speaking of, as we talked about Messiah of Evil earlier, they announced their next round of titles. February 26th in the UK, February 27th in the US and Canada. We are getting a Blu-ray of Black Tight Killers from 1966. And I got to say, this sounds amazing, and I'm not sure how I've never seen this. This says, after wooing stewardess Yoriko, war photographer Hondo sees her kidnapped by a team of deadly female assassins who use vinyl records as weapons. Investigating her whereabouts, Hondo uncovers a conspiracy to steal a buried stash of World War II era gold. Soon he must dodge go-go dancing ninjas and chewing gum bullets to save Yoriko, whose family secret is tied to the hidden treasure. Every bit as stylish and inventive as the wildest works by his mentor, Seijun Suzuki, Yasuharu Hasebe's spy spoof is a gaudy 1960s pop delight that ranks with the likes of Joseph Losey's Modesty Blythe and Mario Bava's Danger Diabolic. I said one of those words wrong, and I apologize. I was reading quickly. This is going to have an audio commentary by Jasper Sharp, who's fantastic, archival interview with the director, some English subs, of course, limited edition booklet with new writing by Japanese cinema expert Chris D. And that's Radiance in a nutshell. Great sounding title. And
that artwork is killer.
Can't wait to see this. Yeah, this looks amazing. Even without the Obi strip, that's a great looking cover.
Yeah, it really is.
Sardis says, I cry after every Radiance announcement. Not enough money to keep up. Will says, New York Ripper is not a Giallo, and it's awesome. Quack, quack, motherfuckers.
Yeah, like I said, I have to learn more about Giallos. I don't know a whole lot on them at all. But the duck aspect, man, I can't stress how much I hated that movie. Like, there's movies that that wasn't my cup of tea, and there's movies like I want my hour and a half back. I hated it. So
I will happily say I don't love New York Ripper either. It's not my favorite Fulci. It's not even in my top 5. I don't hate it, but yes, I get it.
Yeah, it was So not my cup of tea.
Next up from Radiance, same dates, same thing. Blu-ray, also UK and US. The big thing that's different, this will only be coming as a limited edition. This one will not be getting a standard edition. So if you want a Lonzen fan, you're going to want this sooner than later. This is the 1974 Taviani Brothers films. And yeah, this gets a new 2K restoration from the OCN. Audio commentary by Michael Brook, some archival interviews with Taviani brothers by Gideon Bachman. We got newly translated subs, a reversible sleeve, a booklet with new writing by Italian cinema expert Robert Lumley, and a newly translated contemporary interview with the Taviani brothers. Again, limited only. This will not have a standard edition, only 3,000 copies.
Again, nice artwork.
Yeah, very nice. Radiance is always great. Always great. Finally, from Radiance, this one is UK only, February 26th. This is By a Man's Face Shall You Know Him. And man, do they know how to sell a film, because I read this and immediately wanted to see this movie. This says a community struggles against immigrant gangs in the ruins of post-war Tokyo. Only Dr. Amamiya can save them, but he had enough fighting in the war. His pacifism is severely tested by the gang's increasingly outrageous taunts, and when his neighbors decide to take matters into their own hands, Amamiya is forced to take action. The consequences prove to be much more far-reaching than he could ever foresee. With the story spread across 3 time periods, Tai Kato's ambitious revision of the Yakuza movie was one of the first films to tackle the tattoo subject of Japan's Korean nationals, greatly influencing later directors such as Kinji Fukasaku and Takashi Miike. This sounds incredible.
That does sound really freaking good.
So this is going to have a visual essay on Noboru Ando by Nathan Stewart, appreciation on filmmaker Kenta Fukasaku. There's some newly translated subs, limited edition booklet with new writing on the film, and yeah, that's what we got for this one.
I'm afraid after I watched Messiah of Evil going deep down into Radiance, though, I'm afraid of it, because that's why I've stayed away right now, because I keep hearing how great they are, but I'm afraid of going down a rabbit hole.
Good luck. They do great stuff. Let's see. That original 3-year Radiance sub looks like the deal of the decade, what they've been doing, and I agree fully. So jealous of the people that got on in on that. Next up, the next announcement from Severin is Cemetery Man on 4K, coming on Black Friday of this year. This is, again, a Michele Soavi title, and this is going to be a 4-disc set, 2 4Ks, a Blu-ray, and a CD, which means it's going to be pricey, probably. But, man, can I not wait to get this title.
I know nothing about it.
This is another title that was released by Shameless that looked awful on their Blu-ray and will be a wonderful upgrade from Severin, guaranteed.
I'm getting schooled on the horror stuff, though, here. I don't know a lot of the stuff that's coming up.
Totally get that. Here's more up your alley, I'm sure.
That's Rock Hudson. That's more up my alley.
January 9th, Kino is releasing Has Anybody Seen My Gal from 1952, not only with Rock Hudson, but also with Piper Laurie, which is a big deal considering she just passed. And this is a really interesting thing, because not only is she in this film, there's a new audio commentary with Piper on it that was moderated by Lee Gambin. And they recorded this, as far as I'm aware, somewhere in last summer. And this is the type of thing that physical media is really out here to do. Imagine if this was not being released and Piper just passed. We never would have heard her talking about this film. I cannot wait to pick this up and listen to that commentary.
Yeah, Douglas Sirk with Rock Hudson. Yeah, I'm so beyond in. Douglas Sirk is freaking great. That may or may not come up with Criterion in a bit. But yeah, I'm so in.
Nice. Will says he loves this. Sardis has never seen this one. Craig is saying, I can hear the guy in the upper left saying, fabulous. Next up, The Road to Hong Kong from 1962 with Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, and Joan Collins, coming on January 9th on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. New audio commentary on this one by Michael Schlesinger. And how about this one? Is this one that you're into?
Again, that's something that's totally up my alley. Yeah, I like Bob Hope a lot. So just that when you're talking 40s, 50s, 60s, a lot of this is me.
I'm going to be the a-hole then. I can't stand Bob Hope.
Oh, you don't like Bob Hope? Oh,
Not even a little bit. So, yeah, I am not looking forward to this one. And not to mention, this looks ridiculously racist. I'm sure it's great to watch and look back on with I don't want to say fond memories, but with memories.
It is crazy though how you view things now. Like I love Breakfast at Tiffany's. Freaking love it. Mickey Rooney's character is so stereotypically racist. It's
awful.
Insane. I watched it again and I'm like, this is insane. Like you could just write his character out of the movie and it improves it. But anyways, I love that movie. But yeah, it's crazy.
Stan says Bob Hope was the Tom Hanks of his time. Don't you slander Tom Hanks' name like that. Oh, God, I can't stand Jerry Lewis either. Jerry Lewis is terrible. I hate Jerry Lewis. Going from classy to trashy. February 6th, Full Moon is releasing Voodoo Passion on Blu-ray from 1977. This is the Jess Franco film. This is going to include director Jess Franco. Why does their copy, they have James Franco. That's really funny that I didn't catch that the first time. Director Jess Franco vintage trailer reel, the original Voodoo Passion German trailer, rare photo slideshow, Franco Bloody Franco audio interview with Jess. I love that they fixed it then as well. Man, I knew everybody was going to be commenting towards Will. Will loves Jess Franco. Oh gosh, I can almost guarantee, Tim, you've never seen a Jess Franco film, have you?
No. It's funny. You could pretty much guess the types of stuff that I would and wouldn't watch or haven't watched. Yeah, no, never seen a Jess Franco movie.
Well, I'm glad that they're putting this out on Blu-ray because we can finally see it in DVD quality. That's great. December 4th on Blu-ray in the UK, a boutique called Lightbulb Films is releasing Welcome to the Darkness, and this is about the band The Darkness, which I love, and I really want to check this out. This sounds great. This is with unprecedented access, unseen archive footage, and intimate interviews filmed over 8 years. Welcome to the Darkness is a tongue-in-cheek reflection on fame, failure, friendship, and forgiveness. I'm also a sucker for music documentaries, so I'm dying to see this.
I'm totally into this. I just picked up their debut record. Finally came to vinyl, and I picked that thing up. Oh my god! I Believe in a Thing Called Love was played to death, and I still love that song.
It's an incredible song. Incredible. Next up, one that I have been waiting to come to Blu-ray for almost a full year. February 6th, MVD is releasing Candyland from 2022. I've been dying to see this, and I knew that it was going to get a physical release eventually. It's finally coming. Can't wait to check this out. Zach from They Live by Film loved this movie and says this was like X, but slightly worse and a lot trashier. That sounds fantastic, I got to admit.
Sure.
I love some trash, so I get it. Cohen Media Group is putting out via Kino 2 British wartime classics directed by Lewis Gilbert. We have The Sea Shall Not Have Them and Albert R.N. These are coming on January 23rd on Blu-ray via Cohen. And you can pre-order these now.
Something I would probably pick up at some point on a sale.
Have you gotten much from Cohen yet?
I only have a few.
No, it seems like there's not many people that go all in on them. They've got some great titles. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
They do really good with their restoration work, too.
really sold me though with British war films too, because I especially love. So there's so much focus when it comes to, like, World War II on the American perspective,
Yep.
and I like seeing the other perspectives, the British perspective especially. They were in it before us. It's just so much of it is focused on when we entered it.
Yep. I agree there. Next up is a pretty interesting one. I did not expect this coming. December 12th, 4K from Sony Pictures. They are putting out School Days from 1988, the Spike Lee joint. This is going to have a bunch of, I think, all of the archival bonus features from the last release, but this is a 35th anniversary release, and it's Sony, so I'm pretty sure this is going to look fantastic in 4K.
They should have let Criterion have it though.
Yeah, they probably should have. Even though honestly, it'll probably look better on Sony, but
Yeah,
Criterion would have, get all those Spike joints together.
yeah. Especially since Criterion focuses so much, like they get a certain director or actor, and they kind of keep running with them the best they can. That would have been cool. And KB really wants a Criterion Spike box set.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, Kino has 4 of his films, I think, too. So we'd have to get 1 or 2 of those at least, because man, I love a couple of the ones that Kino has.
Yeah.
Next up from Sony, they are putting out a pressed mod Blu-ray as part of the Sony Pictures Classics line of Pollock from 2000. This is great. I've not seen this in a very long time, but this is directed by and starring Ed Harris. It's about the legendary American painter Jackson Pollock. This is going to have the Ed Harris commentary, a making of documentary, Charlie Rose interview with Ed Harris, and fully deserving of the Sony Pictures Classics line. You said yep. How do you feel about this one?
Oh, it's a great movie. I haven't seen it in quite a while, VHS days, but yeah, great movie.
Yeah, this is astonishing. If you've not ever seen Pollock, highly recommend it. Ed Harris is sorely underrated. Dude is great.
It's great in everything.
I
I've
love
always liked him.
Craig
But
says that right after.
look at that cast, though. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
freaking awesome cast.
Yep. Marcia Gay Harden. No, Brian, this has not had any other Blu-ray yet. I believe this is the first one at all. Yeah, this cast is great. Val Kilmer, Jennifer Connelly, Amy Madigan, but God, Marcia Gay Harden is always great too.
Yeah.
This is the other one I was talking about, and man, this movie sounds wild. 1964's Pajama Party is coming on Blu-ray from MGM. Listen to this story. When a Martian scout named Gogo is sent to explore Earth for a possible conquest, he lands in the middle of a wild teenage pajama party, giving Mars second thoughts about invasion and turning the party into an out-of-this-world cosmic shindig. What? What?
That sounds awful and awesome at the same time, and I'm so in for something like that.
This is just weird. Yeah, I might have to get that one. Next Severn title. This was announced today. They're putting out a Blu-ray of Closed Circuit from 1978, and man, I read a synopsis for this today that I am going to have to share with everybody because it made this sound like an incredible film. So Blake Monahan, who I think he does some work for Severn as well, he says, I think it plays like if the movie Demons was a thriller with Ray Bradbury vibes.
What?
That sounds fantastic.
I loved Demons, by the way. That was such a
nice. I'm glad you like that.
That was a recommendation to me, and I went in like, is this really going to be my thing? But dude, the whole vibe of it, the music, that was good. That was really good. Good
stuff. Next up, Run and Kill pre-orders are finally happening for Air 4444. Did I say 4 or 3? Okay. Yeah, Air 4444. Those are happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, and we got some bundles and artwork to talk about here. But the first thing, Run and Kill. This is going to be a region-free pressed Blu-ray on a 50 gig disc. This is going to include a slipcover, a double-sided slipcover with new artwork by Matthew James and Vlad Rodriguez, a booklet with an essay, photos, and ad artwork, 3 stickers, a reversible artwork, Blu-ray sleeve, and then we got a new 2K restoration on that, audio commentary by Kenneth Borson and Philip Gillen of the Podcast on Fire Network, audio commentary by Bruce Holchek of Cinema Arcana and Art Edinger from Ultraviolent Magazine, Run and Kill on location done by CFK, which is the Crazy for Kong crew, and then The Kids Aren't All Right, a video essay by one Erica Schultz from Unsung Horrors and Someone's Favorite Productions, who's watching tonight. I cannot wait to watch this video essay. Erica is amazing and loves watching kids die in movies. So can't wait to see this visual essay. Let's see the next one. Of course, they're also putting out Scissor Penis.
Oh my God. What is this? What is this?
Scissor Penis. Don't ask questions, just purchase. I mean, look at that.
Oh my God.
This is going to have a double-sided slipcover, a booklet with essay, photos, and ad artwork, 3 stickers, reversible art, Blu-ray sleeve, and then we've got an interview with the director, interview with an actress, introductions by both of them as well, conversation, a UFO short film that's 14 minutes long, a video essay by Matthew Rowe that's 38 minutes long, and then a Tomomatu trailer show for 14 minutes, and it looks like a solid release, $36 for that one. The trailer for that looks wild. If you've never checked it out, you probably should before you purchase.
Everyone says don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm judging and I'm passing, man. Scissor Penis will not be in my collection.
That's understandable. However, I will say everybody should probably check out Run and Kill. This looks like an incredible release for this. And just to tease a little bit, one of the extras on here is the CFK on location video. Coming up on my channel on Monday is an interview with many of the dudes from the CFK crew. And I've got behind the scenes pictures, some videos that they're letting me share. I've got wild conversations about how they met, throwing up on their shoes under a table in a bar. There's some hilarious stories. I cannot wait to share this interview with everybody. It was filmed like 2.5 months ago, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Please check it out next week. It's a great interview. But also, they're selling a couple bundles if you want to go even further. For $90, you can get both films. You've got new art, old art slipcover. You've got a 2-sided slipcover that comes with the original release. You've got 3 double-sided posters. And then on top of that, a condom case with 2 condoms, Tim. 2 condoms, Tim.
Oh,
just after we're done, give me your address and I'll send you some condoms.
Oh my God.
If that's not enough for you, though, they also have this $200 bundle limited to 25 pieces, including a 6-inch handcrafted and painted figure. Don't worry, you still get the condom case, but you get this little 6-inch figure that's hand carved. Like, that's pretty impressive, but also it's $200.
Pass.
$200, Tim.
Yeah, no, pass.
$200.
Oh, man.
Thankfully, we're ending on the note of Scissor Penis. That was the last announcement.
What a way to end the announcements with Scissor Penis.
It's kind of odd that they're selling condoms with a movie called Scissor Penis. How, as far as I'm aware, condoms wouldn't work in that situation.
I would think not.
Wave says, Ryan, are you getting either of the titles? Absolutely am I getting Run and Kill. I will get anything that Erica Schultz is on and support one of my closest friends and allies in this space because she's amazing.
but no scissor penis.
I'm not super into it. Again, everybody needs to go watch the trailer. It looks wild. It's not the what's the best way to say this? There's a lot of modern Asian exploitation films that don't fall into the genre of. It seems like they're doing it. Again, like The Room. Everybody that loves Wiseau's The Room is because he set out to make a good movie and it ended up as a piece of shit.
Yeah.
When you're setting out to make, like, let's make a crazy fun B movie that's full of exploitation called Scissor Penis. Like, I'm not super into it. I like the idea of the movie, but it's not B grade enough. It's you trying to make a really nice but also terrible movie called Scissor Penis, and it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, that is definitively nothing that would interest me. Like, not even sort of.
Let's keep talking about Scissor Penis for 30 more minutes. No. At this point,
Korean movies, let's just talk Scissor Penis.
At this point, we always talk about what is coming out next week, just in case you forgot. Next week is Duel on 4K, Last Picture Show 4K from Criterion. That gorgeous Duel 4K Steelbook, it will be mine. Rudy 4K Steelbook, Blue Steel from Vestron, as we discussed earlier. Terms of Endearment 4K from Paramount Presents. That shiny new Bone Tomahawk Steelbook that a lot of places have had in for weeks, so it's weird that the release date is tomorrow or next Tuesday. Sonny Chiba Collection Volume 2, Equalizer 3, 2 Days in the Valley. I think that one's Kino. We got The Expanse, the complete collection, The Nun 2, which I do not recommend. Color Out of Space 4K Steelbook. I've got the movie, but this Steelbook looks really nice.
So I actually got rid of my copy of the movie because I knew that Steelbook was coming, and that's a weird movie, but I dug it a lot. It's
a great movie, yeah.
Yeah, I dug it.
Dude says still need to order that Dual Steelbook. Do you know if it's limited print? I'm sure it is, but it's wide enough where you can it'll probably be in stock for at least a few more weeks.
Yeah, I don't know how that is. 8 Mile still up even, because that was a Groove exclusive.
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me see if I can pull it up, because last I checked it was still in stock. And no. Oh wait. No. Nope, they have pulled the page for it.
Okay.
So right. I would get it sooner than later.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of time, but it will eventually sell out.
Deaf Crocodile is asking, anyone seen Color Out of Space? I'm curious. Again, yes, it's a very good Lovecraft movie, directed by Stanley, if that bothers you. I know that he had some allegations of being a wife beater and stuff, but Color Out of Space is fun. Nicolas Cage does great in that, of course.
Some cool body horror in it, too.
Absolutely. Full Body Massage from Unearthed Films coming out next week. Neon City from Kino. The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then the Bigfoot. I believe that's a 4K Steelbook. This is the first time I think it's been released on 4K in the US. I think we only had Blu-ray previously. Guarding Tess coming out on Blu-ray. Werewolves Within Blu-ray Steelbook next week as well. Love that movie. And if you have been interested in Werewolves Within and you've never seen it, I interviewed the director, Josh Rubin, on the channel. You can go back and check out that interview. Fun dude. He is fantastic. Psycho Goreman Steelbook next week. Tim's already had the Twilight Saga 5 movie 4K Steelbook set pre-order for months, I'm sure.
The one right next to it, though, I think is like what I'm most excited for with that. The Leave It to Beaver. Getting the whole complete series.
It's a big deal.
That's awesome, man. TV shows have been getting a lot of love as of late on Blu-ray, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I fully agree there. Rapa Nui from Warner Archive, Justified, that new little mini series that they did, City Primeval. That one's coming out on Blue next week. Spirit Away live on stage from Shout and G Kids. I think I need to pick that one up. In Love and War from Warner Archive, Fog of War. That one is one that I need to get eventually as well. Arizona 4K Steelbook, Short Circuit 2. Lots of stuff coming out next week. I Kill Giants Steelbook, Vesper Steelbook, Dr. Caligari 4K from Mondo Macabro. Yeah. This is that big RLJ E-Wave that was announced like 2 months ago, all hitting at once. We were talking about Ultraman earlier. You can get the whole Ultra 7 55th anniversary anthology, which has pretty much everything in this. You might want to check that out. Computer Chess from Kino Lorber, The Aviator's Wife from Kino as well. Some standards, some anime, and that's pretty much the big ones.
Re-releases and
yeah. What's your big one for next week that you're going after, or that you already got?
All right, so Leave It to Beaver is I think I have to wait till after the con to buy it for the price it is. Yeah. So that's the one I'm most excited for. But I think Duel is the one I'm most excited for that I could actually get for release. Because I'm pumped for Duel, man. I love that movie. I put it in my top 5 of all Spielberg. Like, I love that movie.
Sibner says, Ryan, let's not forget that $1,200 Disney set. People want to know. I believe that's $1,500 Disney set.
Yeah, that set is so astronomically stupid because there's a UK set that has most of that in it for, what is it? It's like 500, 600 you could get it for. What is the point of this US set? It's terrible.
I really do not understand it. So that is this last week of announcements and next week's releases. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this.